Hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. I have been getting a ton of questions about what's taking place on my boat. People wanted to know what components we put on, how the restoration has gone. So today I'm giving you guys an update. I'm gonna give you a quick walk through the boat. First off, the project is not done, and that's why you haven't seen it. But I'm gonna walk you from the front to the back, show you what has been done. We bought this boat a few months ago, and at that time I showed you guys it was a bone stock boat. Told you we were gonna do a full restoration. Since that time, I can't tell you how many mud daubers we have cleaned out of the inside of this boat. We literally gutted it. Every battery, every wire, every single wire, the entire wiring harness out of the boat. Every switch gone. Complete restoration from the bottom up. So we'll start up here in the front. Now you're gonna notice there's still holes all over this boat. And that is because we redid all the switches. It was push button panels. Well, the older Champion panels have very limited availability, and it's only going to get worse going forward. So we did a full conversion, and we did it ourselves, switching this boat to rocker switches. There's a couple reasons for that. It's an older technology, but it's incredibly reliable, and it's inexpensive to work on the road. You can carry 1 or 2 extra rocker switches and literally repair anything on your boat, and it doesn't matter where you are in the country. So we did a rocker switch conversion. It's almost complete. We should have the panels built and assembled and installed probably 2 weeks from now. Now up front, first thing that happened is we got the Ultrex back on there. Went with the link, so we're hooked up to the Solix 15 back up front. Of course, put that Solix 15 up on a high mount over the top of the recessed trolling motor so I can run my pedal with ease. No complications there. Still haven't got my 360 installed. That should be happening this coming week. And then the front half of the boat is done. Back here at the mid, went with the Solix 15 at the dash and the 12 out the side. Now you might be wondering, why would I put the 15 where I need to see? Why would I put it in my line of sight? The reason for that is very simple. I'm a pretty tall guy, and for me, seeing over the top of it's not an issue. When you're working on a boat like this, you want to take your actual considerations, and that's what you want to build the boat around. So for me, seeing over the top of the 15, not a concern. What is a concern is weight, because we run in big water, really big water sometimes. When it gets nasty, we don't go in. A lot of people don't go out when it's bad. We do. So for me, let me jump down here. For me, I put my 15 right on the console. That way it's completely supported even in the worst of conditions. And this is my sonar and imaging. Out here on the side, I put my 12 and I put it on an extended mount. And we'll link all the gear down in the video description for you, just like always. But my 12 is out the side because it weighs a little bit less. And in those monster swells, I didn't want to run the risk of possibly popping some of the gel coat if something got loose and I hadn't been keeping up on it. So this is the perfect setup for me. Now, updated the gauges. You can see still missing a panel here. I mean, there's my ignition just dangling out in the wind. Again, we're a couple weeks out on paneling, and then most of the boat will be wrapped up. Of course, put a hot foot in the boat. Always have a hot foot. Again, if you're a rough water guy, you know the advantage of a hot foot is you start driving a boat more like a car. It's actually a foot pedal gas control. So you're running it just like a car with your foot, 2 hands on the steering wheel, 1 foot on the throttle, instead of a hand on the steering wheel and a hand on the throttle. When the swells get big and you're in that nasty water, you want both hands on the wheel. Back here in the back, you can see I still don't have my talons. I'm putting 15-foot talons back on this boat. Once you've got them, you can't live without them. That's all there is to it. I'm so excited to get my talons back on here, but I couldn't do it yet because I've still got my manual jack plate. I ordered a custom 14-inch jack plate. It just arrived. So actually this week, the jack plate is getting installed. Then I can hang my talons. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting to do that part of the job. Now, the jack plate is the only thing on this boat that we're not doing ourselves. Short version of that story is a couple years ago, Tim and I and another buddy took a motor off one of my boats, and that thing just about flipped upside down. So I decided I didn't really want to do that again, and I'm glad the camera wasn't running that day. It all worked out. It was fine, didn't hurt the motor, but whole blood pressure went up. So this time somebody else is pulling the motor. We're gonna get the new jack plate on there, get that motor back on, and then I can do my install. The reason also why I went with a 14-inch jack plate, that's a ton of setback. But again, running giant water, huge waves, getting that motor back there in that clean water, extending the overall length of the boat is only a good thing. And then down inside, again, it's a full rewire. All new Group 31 batteries. That's so that we can run day after day after day. Of course, everything runs through Perco switches so you can kill power to the boat as needed. And then a brand new precision charger to keep everything running tip-top shape. So that's where we're at right now. Still a work in progress. A few more weeks, this thing will be done and it's going to be sweet. And I'm excited about it. But wanted to give you an update. When I get it done, we'll give you a full walkthrough again. And then of course, we're gonna take you all over the country with us as we're fishing out of it. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.